Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your December 2021 Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Saggy, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that's just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your actions and interactions with the world at large, you have the Moon card. All right, so very pensive this month, it looks like, right? A lot of your actions very slow, steady and deliberate this month, which is not a bad thing, not a bad thing at all. Just wanted to say as well, for those of you that are celebrating this month, happy damn birthday to you. I truly hope that you have an amazing solar return. As I always say, remember to fill the day of your birthday with a little bit of everything that you want this entire year ahead to have in it for you. All right, so I wish you all of the best. Now, this Moon card, very pensive. It looks like a lot of you are doing the right steps of really taking time to consider what next, what is the next cycle, what is the next thing to work on, what is the next thing to work towards, to give my time and effort and energy to, which is actually really nice. What I will say to you with this energy though, it can be somewhat past looking, all right? So if you find yourself really ruminating on the past, I mean, you've got this solar eclipse in your sign. So this is your sun, your moon, or your ascendant, or all three, or maybe one of the two or two of the three being activated, right? So straight away, and this is the last one in your sign, and I truly believe that this is very likely then to give you a gift of some sort. This is going to show you what it's all been about, right? And for some of you, this might be a moment at which, especially around that eclipse, the new moon lunar eclipse, new moon solar eclipse, sorry, this might be a moment where you kind of go, for a split second, you're taken back to the past of something, where this could be a message, a sign, a symbol, a synchronicity. With the Moon card, it could be a dream. This could be something that comes up, or even a reconnection with an old friend, an old colleague, etc. That really just kind of snaps you back to the past for a moment, and you're like, wow, how different am I? How different is the life that I'm living? How far, have I evolved? How much further forward have I moved in some way, shape or form? This is really potent actually, because it's in your actions and options. So this is, this is you finding a way to bring something from your personal past into the future, or it might be revealed to you as a result of that eclipse, and it might just be a moment where it's like, bam, this shows up, this is happening now, ta-da. And you're finding, that you're really, really looking at this in a really deep way. Before we get into your money and materials, as you know, every year I put on a winter solstice alignment activation session where we get to tap into the magic of the solstice to imprint our energies for the year ahead, right? So for 2022. This year I have two, not one, but two special guests. I have Denise from Human Design with Denise. I have Heather from Astrology with Heather. So we are going to be talking about the astrology, the numerology, the human design. I will be doing obviously tarot card pulls. On top of that, I will be shooting you off into the future using future life progression so that you get to see your personal year in a sense, right? So any messages that come up through that are specifically for you. And this whole session is designed to really get you prepared for the year ahead. Setting your intentions in a group of like minds and souls heightens that energy. And furthermore, it's also going to be on the right day to set your intentions, which is the first day that the sun moves into Capricorn. All right. So if you want to be there, get your tap on the link in the description box below to get your seat. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. All right. So for your money and materials, you have the Queen of Wands, right? So very passionate, very fiery, very forward looking in a sense. Now, the Queen of Wands, usually a fire sign woman, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This might be somebody that features for you. For some of you, this could be somebody from your past. This could be an old friend, an old colleague. For some of you, this might be One way that this could show up on the not so, nice energy, one way that this could show up for you is you're having to set a boundary with someone around finances. This could be with a family member, it could be with a friend, it could be with a child, with a sibling. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like maybe you're having to really put someone in their place when it comes to finances. Maybe they're always hitting you up for change or for cash. Maybe they're always expecting you to foot the bill for something. So, this could be a moment where something comes full cycle and you say, actually, I'm always doing this for you and I'm not doing it anymore. Like, this could be a moment where you're, really setting a very firm boundary around money or finances. On a more beneficial kind of sense, the Queen of Wands is what you really are ready to jump into wholeheartedly, right? This is about where you show up, where you command your space and your power. And this looks to me like you are about to, it's almost like you're trying to create, the words that I'm hearing are, you want to create the life that you wanted then with the knowledge and the wisdom that you have now, right? This is all of us, especially, I'm 36 at this point. No spring chicken I ate. All jokes aside though, this is a moment where, we all say, as we get older, it's like, wow, I wish I'd known back then what I know now. This is one of those moments where you can have that, right? It's where you're stepping into a new financial destiny, but you're doing so with all of the, it's almost like you're walking an old path, but you're doing it with all of the knowledge that you have now. So it's kind of like, in a way, you get to relive an aspect, not the actual past, right? But, quantum physics and mechanics and all that. You're getting to relive some old aspect of yourself with all of the knowledge and the wisdom that you have now. And this is likely to set you on a very different or a very distinct path in some way. It's a really interesting energy, and it kind of mirrors the energy of the Scorpio reading, but it's different in a lot of ways. Like, for you guys, I think there's a lot more happening internally, whereas for the Scorpios, it's a lot more external. So it will be interesting to see how this kind of plays out for you guys. As we come into your communications and conversations, we have you, right? So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius woman, right next to the Temperance card, that is a Sagittarius woman. So for all of you, man, woman, person, however you identify, you come up in your own reading, right? So for those of you that are women and watching this, look at this. This is literally you. This is you communicating very honestly, very openly, as Saggies tend to do, sometimes too honestly. I love you. Right? But this is you communicating something very, very clearly. And this could be a point at which you are defining yourself. Like, this is where you say, this is where I stand on this, and I'm not backing down for nothing or for no one. And I really like that. And for those of you that are guys, for the gents among you that are watching this is really powerful, because it sees you really tapping into this energy of your emotions and being able to channel, direct and shape that energy through the willpower, right? There's something here where a conversation or a communication that you're having, whether it's through your work, your professional ties, maybe even an academic scene, there's something here that really gets you to understand something from a very different viewpoint. And through that conversation, you are likely to be able to channel your emotions to change some aspect of your path or the dynamic that you have with people. There's a big shift taking place on the spiritual or the consciousness level for you guys this month. And, the fact that you've got the Temperance card here in the communications as well, don't be surprised if there are some, heightened, I won't say loud or arguments, but don't be surprised if there are some heightened energetic debates, let's say. It's definitely a possibility with that energy, but this is a big shift. Of course. So for your heart and hearth or your love and relations, you have the Two of Wands. And this is right now, that's a lot of fire. That's the first thing that I'm going to say. It's a lot of fire and a little bit of water. So for a lot of you, this could be quite steamy energy. You know, this could be very sexual, very sensual. This might be a month where that takes on a new weight or a new meaning to you. What does it mean to be spiritual and to be sexual and to be sensual? How can you combine those things? For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, maybe there is a deepening of the bond. Maybe there's you talking about things in deeper, more intimate ways. Maybe there's, you know, something about the plans for the future brings you closer together. It enhances that relationship experience. For a select few of you, this might be a moment, not all of you, you'll know if I'm talking to you because you'll feel that sort of pang. Maybe, just maybe, this is the thing that starts to make you realize, okay, you know what, we are on separate paths here, and if we don't get it together, we may end up, you know, going on very different and very separate paths. But for the most part, I actually really like that. For those of you that are single, it's going to be, you know, through your mingling, through your get-togethers, through rubbing shoulders with very different people in very different circles. That is likely to, you know, for some of you as well, this could be alignment of a very spiritual relationship. This could be you meeting somebody that seems very familiar on that sort of soulful, sensual kind of level. It's like, yeah, there's attraction and, you know, I'm definitely feeling that, but there's something else. Like, why am I drawn to this person? This could be really nice. You'll have to let me know how it goes. I mean, you know, not everything. You always have to be mindful of what I'm saying. For your first week of the month, you've got the Death card, right, underneath the moon. This is something that's been coming up a lot for Sagittarians, and I know I've had some of you email me to say, like, okay, you're freaking me out enough now, you know, because they've had them. But again, this is messages from people that have passed, messages from people from the past, definitely. But, you know, this could be dreams of people that you know have passed on or have died. This eclipse, you know, in a lot of, this is the final eclipse in your sign, right? So this is you being activated. And I get the feeling that this is going to be something from your past that is now laid to rest, right? This is going to be a moment where it's like, now I can stand on that history and squash it and be done with it. For your second week of the month, you've got the Strength card, right? So there's a lot of women that surround you, lots of fire sign people. You've got Sagittarius people, you've got Leo people that seem to be featuring for you as well. I mean, because it's the Strength card, this could be a week where, as well, in some way you're kind of thrust into the limelight that you weren't expecting. Maybe you are, you know, maybe something about you is called into this. It could also be a week where you are having to really dig deep on setting that boundary that I talked about, on really being very clear on what is or isn't going to happen with something. Don't be surprised if you're having to have stern words in that second week of this month. And if that is the case, let it come naturally, right? Speak from the heart, but speak, you know, rule with this, but speak from this. That's the best you can do. It's going to be an interesting second week of December for you guys, for sure. On a more personal level, this really does feel like you being presented in some way, all right? And at first it might be like, oh, okay, this is uncomfortable. But once you kind of, you know, find your stride with it, it will just help you tap into your inner glow. So as we come into the third week of the month, for those of you that celebrate, and, you know, whatever you do or don't celebrate, I truly hope you have a wonderful holiday season. Happy Christmas, happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa. For those of you that celebrate, a happy Yule. I really do wish you all of the best, you know, for the season ahead, and more importantly for the new year ahead. So, you know, finish this one strong, start the next one stronger. You know, from my heart to yours, happy holiday season. And for that, you have the Devil card, right? So, you know what? It's the holidays. Everybody overindulges at this time. You've got this with the Temperance card though, right? And I think this could be a moment where you really do start to understand what your personal triggers are, right? So you might find as well that over the holiday season, if you feel a bit more detached, if you feel a bit more pensive, That's the Moon card coupled with this Queen of Wands in action, right? This is you. So if people are kind of like, you know, what's going on with you, it's more a case of you're not just sort of blindly going with whatever your overindulgences are. You're really being mindful of what they are. You know, it's like, okay, you know, what's going to make me eat more? What's going to make me drink more? What's going to make me smoke at this time, even though for the rest of the year I don't, and I gave it up 2 years ago? Or do you know what I mean? Like, there's something, it's like you're very, very clear on what your vices are, but more importantly, it's like you can see the you behind the you doing the thing, right? This is a very, very powerful moment of consciousness. It's not quite an out-of-body experience. It's more I almost want to say like it's a, you know, when you have like, and we've all had them, you have moments where you can observe yourself doing and thinking something, and then you're kind of like, ooh, and you snap back into your body. This could be one of those moments. So I'll be intrigued to see what comes up for you. But for the most part, be conscious, be present, right? Enjoy. And then for your 4th week of the month, you've got the Hanged Man, right? So take it easy around this time. Let things flow, let things develop. If you are meeting somebody, for those of you that are single and looking, if you are meeting someone, let it unfold, all right? Don't send a million texts and do all of that. Let it unfold. Just let it be what it's naturally going to be, and let it evolve into what it's supposed to be. That is going to be the best way for you to get ahead with a potential new relationship as you come into the year. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, it's just a real sort of deepening of the bond. For a lot of you, this could be reassessment of the relationship or of where the relationship is going. So, you know, maybe you had decided, you know what, we're going to move to Europe, or we're going to move, you know, from Europe to the States, or do you know what I mean? Like, this could be, maybe you're planning something like that. And then upon closer inspection, you both say, actually, you know what, that doesn't feel like the right move, but we'll find something else. Those 2 cards seem to want out. So it's kind of like, again, that whole deepening of the bond, but it's through a realization, but that realization is only going to come by slowing down. Now, the Hanged Man coupled with the Devil card, this 3rd and 4th week, enjoy, indulge, be careful, because with that combination of cards, it can go a little bit too far, all right? For your solar eclipse energy, you have the Gate 60 and limits. This card shows us what our limits are, and it reminds us that in order to reach our true, biggest, highest potential, we need to dig a deep foundation. I feel like this is that you've already done that. And I kind of feel like this is going to be a moment at which, and I had one of these just recently for myself, and it was very empowering. This could be a moment at which you take off your own shackles, right? This is that moment where you realize what your limits are and you say, you know what, that doesn't work for me anymore. I'm going to do something different. Nice. And for your full moon message, oh yeah, you've got the Gate 51 and shock. So expect maybe a blast from the past. Expect a different understanding of something. Very interesting as well. So you've got the Gate 60, and then you've got 51, 1 and 5 gives you 6. Then you've got the Devil card as well, 1 and 5 gives you 6. So you've got a triple hit of this 6 energy. 6 is balance and equilibrium, partnership and marriage. But it's more than that. It's the energy of all things combined, masculine and feminine coming together. It's about truly finding a sense of personal balance and understanding. So it's going to be really, really interesting. And I think this full moon is only going to serve to really clarify some stuff for you on a personal level, but it might give you some, you might have like a really sort of like boom, you know, where some truth slaps you in the face, or where some experience really changes your mind on something. All in all though, I think this could be actually a really nice month for you, even with the challenges. Like I said, try not to overindulge. You know, indulge, absolutely, because hello, right? But just don't, you know, let 3 days become 5 days, become a month, become, right? Just all in proportion. All right, with that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic holiday season, a wonderful end to your year, and I truly hope that 2022 is your best year yet. It would be lovely to see you for the winter solstice session, but if I don't, thank you for all of your support throughout this year, and I really, really can't wait to see you in the new year for all the good stuff to come. Take care, and I'll see you soon.